There are moments that change everything, moments so small they should be insignificant. But they crack open something you've been keeping carefully sealed. For Nathan Pierce, CEO of Pierce & Sterling Consulting, that moment was seeing his executive assistant laugh. Not polite, professional laughter, real laughter. The kind that lights up someone's entire face, the kind that makes them throw their head back, the kind that's unguarded and genuine and beautiful. He'd worked with Claire Mitchell for 4 years, 4 years of professional perfection, 4 years of respectful distance, 4 years of carefully maintained boundaries. He'd never seen her laugh like that, not with him, not in 4 years. But she was laughing like that with the new hire, 26-year-old Marcus Chen, junior analyst, charming, friendly, unguarded in ways Nathan had forgotten how to be. And watching Claire's face light up for this stranger, this kid, something cracked in Nathan's carefully constructed fortress. Jealousy, pure, irrational, devastating jealousy. Not professional concern. Not CEO oversight. Jealousy, the kind that makes you realize you've been lying to yourself for years. The kind that makes you understand, in one terrible moment, that you're in love with someone you've been keeping at arm's length. This is the story of what happened next. When a CEO saw his assistant laughing with someone else and his entire world shifted. When 4 years of professional distance became impossible to maintain. When jealousy became the teacher that caution never could be. Sometimes it takes seeing someone connect with someone else to realize you've been longing for that connection yourself. Sometimes the moment that changes everything is watching someone be happy, with someone who isn't you. Before we begin, you need to understand Nathan Pierce. 41 years old, built Pierce & Sterling from the ground up. 15 years of relentless work. Success measured in revenue, market share, expansion. A machine optimized for business. But success came with costs. A divorce at 35. No serious relationship since. Walls built from professional achievement and personal failure. The kind of man who'd learned that mixing personal and professional was dangerous, that boundaries protected everyone. Nathan was respected, feared maybe, admired from distance, never known, never close to anyone. Except, in some ways, Claire Mitchell. She'd been his executive assistant for 4 years, hired when she was 24. Brilliant, organized, anticipating his needs before he articulated them. The kind of assistant who made impossible schedules work, who managed crises with grace, who was indispensable. Nathan trusted her completely, relied on her daily, valued her professionally, but kept her at careful distance, professional only, no personal questions, no casual conversations, no boundary crossing, safe, controlled, appropriate given their roles. Claire had accepted this distance, maintained matching professionalism, never pushed, never crossed lines, perfect assistant, perfect boundaries. For 4 years this worked, comfortable, sustainable, safe, until Marcus Chen joined the company. 26, junior analyst, smart but not threatening, friendly, open, the kind of person who talked to everyone, who made friends easily, who hadn't learned yet that corporate environments required guardedness. Marcus started 3 weeks ago. Already he was popular. People gravitated toward him. He brought energy, warmth, humanity to an often cold environment, including apparently to Claire. Nathan noticed them talking occasionally. Break room conversations, hallway exchanges, nothing inappropriate, just friendly, warm, easy. It bothered him. He told himself it didn't, but it did. Something about watching Claire be warm with Marcus when she was always so carefully professional with Nathan. But he dismissed it. Professional jealousy, maybe, territorial about his assistant's time. Not real jealousy, not personal. Then came the moment, the laugh, the one that changed everything. Nathan was walking past the break room, 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, routine, forgettable, except he heard laughter, Claire's laughter, different from any sound he'd heard from her in 4 years. He paused, looked. Claire and Marcus, sharing coffee, Marcus telling some story. Claire laughing, really laughing. Face lit up, eyes bright, completely unguarded, beautiful. She was beautiful. Nathan had always known that abstractly, professional acknowledgement. Never let himself really see it. Now he saw it, saw her. Saw what he'd been keeping at distance for 4 years, and saw her giving that warmth, that light, that realness to someone else. The jealousy was immediate, physical, devastating. Not, that's my assistant, stay professional. But that should be me. That laugh should be for me. I want her looking at me like that. Nathan kept walking. Didn't stop, didn't interrupt. Went to his office, closed the door, sat at his desk, breathing hard, heart racing. 41 years old and feeling like teenager with crush. No, not crush. Love. He was in love with Claire Mitchell. Had been, probably for years. Just never let himself acknowledge it. Too dangerous, too complicated, too much risk. So he'd buried it, maintained boundaries, kept her safely in professional category, until watching her laugh with Marcus forced him to confront what he'd been denying. He loved her, wanted her, not just as assistant, as woman, as partner, as everything. And he'd wasted 4 years keeping her at distance, 4 years of professional perfection and personal cowardice. While some 26-year-old kid waltzed in and made her laugh in 3 weeks. The jealousy was irrational, unfair, juvenile, also completely transformative. Because Nathan Pierce, who'd built fortress around his heart, who'd maintained careful boundaries for 4 years, who'd convinced himself professional. Distance was wisdom. Nathan Pierce was about to learn that some walls need to come down before someone else gets past them first. This is that story of jealousy and recognition, of walls and their dismantling, of realizing you're in love with someone you've been carefully ignoring, and hoping it's not too late to do something about it. 4 years ago, Nathan Pierce needed a new executive assistant. His previous assistant had retired, 30 years with the company, impossible to replace. But the firm needed someone. Nathan needed someone. The workload was crushing. HR sent candidates. Nathan interviewed 15 people. All qualified, all professional, all fine. Then Claire Mitchell walked in, 24 years old, recent MBA, overqualified for the role, honestly. But she wanted it. Said she wanted to learn from the inside, understand how successful firms operated, build toward her own career. Nathan appreciated the honesty, the ambition, the clarity. But what struck him, what he'd never admit, was her presence. Intelligent eyes, confident posture. The way she answered questions, direct, thoughtful, unintimidated by him. Most candidates were nervous. Claire was composed, not arrogant, just self-possessed. Nathan hired her on the spot. She started the following Monday. Dove into work immediately, learned systems, anticipated needs, fixed problems before Nathan knew they existed. Within a month, she was indispensable. Within 3 months, the office ran on her organizational genius. Within 6 months, Nathan couldn't imagine working without her. But from day one, Nathan maintained boundaries. Professional only, no personal questions. No casual conversations beyond work. Polite but distant, safe, appropriate given their roles and the 13-year age gap. Claire seemed to appreciate the boundaries, maintained matching professionalism. They worked together seamlessly, efficiently, perfectly. No friction, no awkwardness, no complications. Also no warmth, no real connection. No humanity beyond professional function. Nathan told himself that was good. Professional relationships should be professional. He'd learned that lesson the hard way. His divorce at 35 had come from mixing professional and personal. Met his ex-wife at work. Dated, married, worked together. Eventually imploded. Messy, painful. Cost him emotionally and nearly cost him the company. Never again. Boundaries existed for reasons: protection, clarity, professionalism. So with Claire, Nathan was careful, rigidly careful. Never crossed lines, never let conversations drift personal, never acknowledged the attraction he absolutely felt, because he felt it. From the beginning. Claire was beautiful, brilliant, capable, everything that would attract him under different circumstances. But circumstances weren't different. She was his assistant, 13 years younger, in position of less power. Crossing boundaries would be inappropriate at best, predatory at worst. So Nathan buried it, focused on work, maintained distance, told himself it was wisdom, not cowardice. Year 1 passed. Professional perfection, no complications. Year 2, Nathan noticed Claire had a boyfriend, someone her age, worked in finance. She never talked about him at work, professional boundaries, but Nathan saw the relationship status change on her emergency contact forms. It bothered him, more than it should. He told himself it was concern, appropriate managerial concern. Not jealousy, definitely not jealousy. The relationship lasted 8 months. Then her emergency contact changed back, single again. Nathan didn't ask, wasn't his business. But he noticed she seemed sadder for a few weeks. Then recovered. Resilient, professional as always. He wanted to ask if she was okay. Never did. Boundaries. Year 3, Claire seemed to consider leaving. Nathan could tell. She was restless, updating her LinkedIn, taking calls during lunch that seemed like interviews. The thought of her leaving created panic. Actual panic. Who would replace her? How would he function? She was essential. He convinced himself it was professional concern, fear of disruption, nothing personal. He gave her a raise, substantial, expanded her responsibilities, made her role more strategic, less administrative. Title change, Director of Executive Operations. Claire stayed, seemed satisfied, more engaged. The restlessness faded. Nathan was relieved, told himself it was about operational stability, not about keeping her close. Year 4, status quo maintained. Nathan and Claire worked together flawlessly, anticipated each other, communicated with few words, professional perfection, but also hollow. Nathan's entire life felt hollow. Work was successful, company thriving, personal life empty, no friends really, no family nearby, no romantic relationship, just work. And Claire, who was there every day, who made his professional life function, who he saw more than any other human being, who he knew professionally and not at all personally, who maintained the same careful boundaries he did, who never crossed lines, who seemed content with professional-only relationship. 4 years of this. 4 years of successful professional partnership and carefully maintained distance. Nathan told himself he was content, that this was enough, that boundaries protected everyone. He was lying to himself. On some level he knew it, but denial is powerful, comfortable, safe, until Marcus Chen arrived, and made Claire laugh, and shattered Nathan's comfortable denial in single moment. 4 years of careful boundaries, 4 years of professional distance, 4 years of buried feelings, all undone by watching someone else make her happy. Sometimes the fortress you build to protect yourself becomes the prison that destroys you. Nathan Pierce was about to learn that lesson, the hard way. The week after Nathan saw Claire laughing with Marcus, everything changed. Not externally. Externally, nothing changed. Professionally, they functioned identically. But internally, Nathan was different, aware, awake to something he'd been deliberately ignoring. He noticed everything now. How Claire styled her hair, what colors she wore, how she took her coffee, small details he'd been blind to for 4 years. He noticed how she interacted with others. Warm with colleagues, helpful with junior staff, professional but human. Never that warm with him, always carefully distant, appropriate, safe. He'd enforced that distance for 4 years, maintained walls, kept her at arm's length, and she'd respected those walls, matched his energy, stayed professional. But with Marcus, the walls didn't exist. She was herself, unguarded, real. Nathan couldn't stop thinking about it, about her, about 4 years of suppressed feelings suddenly impossible to ignore. Monday, Nathan found himself manufacturing reasons to interact with Claire. Questions about schedule, requests for information he didn't really need, excuses to be near her. She handled each interaction with her usual professional grace. Efficient, helpful, distant. It hurt. That distance that had felt safe now felt like rejection. Tuesday, Nathan saw Claire and Marcus having lunch together. Cafeteria, public, innocent. Just 2 colleagues eating, talking, laughing. The jealousy was physical, actual pain in his chest. Irrational, unfair, completely overwhelming. He had no right to jealousy, no claim on Claire. Had spent 4 years establishing that explicitly. But jealousy doesn't care about logic, about rights, about appropriate boundaries. Nathan left the cafeteria. Couldn't watch. Wednesday, Nathan's friend and business partner, James Sterling, noticed something was off. "You're distracted. What's going on?" Nathan and James had founded the company together, best friends for 20 years. If anyone would understand, James would. "I think I'm in love with Claire." James wasn't surprised. Finally admitting it. "You knew. Everyone knows. Except apparently you and Claire. You two have been circling each other for 4 years. Everyone can see it." "She's my assistant, 13 years younger. There are power dynamics. It's inappropriate." "It would be inappropriate if you leveraged your position, if you pressured her, if you made her uncomfortable. But Nathan, having feelings isn't inappropriate. Acting on them ethically can be appropriate." "What if she doesn't feel the same way?" "Then you handle it professionally and move on. But what if she does? What if she's been maintaining distance because you have? What if you've both been hiding behind professionalism when there could be something real?" Nathan didn't have answers. Thursday, Marcus stopped by Nathan's office, casual visit, checking in. Mr. Pierce wanted to thank you for the opportunity. I'm learning a lot here. Good, you're doing well. People like you. Thanks, everyone's been welcoming, Claire especially. She's been showing me the ropes. She's great. You're lucky to have her. The comment was innocent, observation, no hidden meaning. But Nathan heard, I see what you've been ignoring. I appreciate what you've taken for granted. Maybe I'll pursue what you've been too cowardly to acknowledge. Irrational. Unfair to Marcus, who'd done nothing wrong. But jealousy isn't rational. Yes, Claire is exceptional, essential to this organization. She mentioned she's been here 4 years. That's a long time. You two must work really well together. We do, very professionally. Marcus nodded, left, friendly, oblivious to the turmoil he'd created in Nathan's mind. Nathan sat in his office, 41 years old, successful CEO, mature adult, feeling like insecure teenager worried about losing girl to rival. Except Claire wasn't his girl, had never been. He'd made sure of that. Friday, Nathan made a decision. He had to tell her, had to acknowledge what he'd been feeling, had to take the risk he'd been avoiding for 4 years, not because of Marcus, not out of jealousy or competition, because watching her be happy with someone else made him realize he wanted her to be happy with him. And 4 years of professional distance was cowardice, not wisdom. She might reject him, probably would. Why would she feel the same way? He'd given her nothing but professional courtesy for 4 years, but he had to try. Had to be honest, had to stop hiding behind boundaries and admit the truth. He loved Claire Mitchell, had loved her for years, was tired of pretending otherwise. At 5:30 p.m., as Claire was preparing to leave for the weekend, Nathan asked, "Can we talk, privately?" She looked surprised. In 4 years, they'd never had a personal conversation. Never. Of course, is something wrong? No, yes, maybe, I need to tell you something, and I need you to listen without obligation to respond any particular way. Can you do that? Claire's expression was unreadable, professional mask, the one she always wore with him. Okay, let's talk. They went to Nathan's office. He closed the door, stood there, 41 years old, built a company from nothing, faced boardrooms, negotiated millions in deals, never been this nervous. Claire, we've worked together for 4 years. Professional, appropriate, boundaried. I enforced those boundaries deliberately, because I learned from past mistakes that mixing professional and personal is dangerous, because there's a power dynamic I wanted to respect, because I was scared. Claire was listening, expression still unreadable. This week I saw you laughing with Marcus, really laughing. I'd never seen you like that, and it made me realize something I've been denying for 4 years. He took a breath. I'm in love with you. I have been for years. I buried it, hid behind professionalism, convinced myself boundaries were wisdom. But Claire, watching you be happy with someone else made me realize I want you to be happy with me, and I've wasted 4 years being too scared to tell you. Silence. Claire just stared at him, processing. Nathan continued. I'm not telling you this to pressure you. You have all the power here. You can say no and nothing changes professionally. You're safe. Your job is secure. I would never retaliate or make things uncomfortable. But I had to tell you. I couldn't keep pretending, couldn't watch you potentially build something with Marcus while never having told you how I feel. More silence. Then, finally, Claire spoke. 4 years, Nathan. You've kept me at arm's length for 4 years, professional distance, no personal questions, no real conversations. I matched your energy, respected your boundaries. Convinced myself you saw me as just an assistant, just a function. And now because some guy makes me laugh, you're suddenly in love with me? Her voice wasn't angry, wasn't cold, just hurt, confused. Is this real, or is this jealousy? Fear of losing your efficient assistant? Fair question, devastating question. It's real. The jealousy forced me to acknowledge it, but Claire, I felt this way for years. I was scared. The age gap, the power dynamic. My divorce taught me that mixing these things ends badly. So I built walls. Kept you safe. Kept me safe. But I was wrong. The walls weren't protecting us. They were preventing something real. And Marcus? Marcus made me realize I'm running out of time. That if I don't take the risk, someone else will. Someone braver. Someone who hasn't wasted 4 years being a coward. Claire's eyes were wet. Not crying. Just overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. Nathan, this changes everything. I know. And I'm sorry for the timing, for the disruption, for dropping this on you after 4 years of silence. But I couldn't stay silent anymore. Claire, you can say no. You can ask for transfer to another role. You can maintain professional distance. Whatever you need, I'll respect it. But I had to tell you. I owe you honesty. Claire was quiet. Long moment. Processing. Deciding. Finally, I need time to think, to process. It's a lot. Can I have the weekend? Take as long as you need. No pressure, no timeline. Okay, I'll see you Monday. She left. Nathan stood alone in his office. Friday evening, empty building, confession made. No idea how Claire felt, whether she'd return Monday, whether he'd just destroyed 4 years of perfect professional partnership. But at least he'd been honest, after 4 years of hiding. At least he'd tried. Sometimes the scariest thing is admitting the truth. Sometimes you have to risk everything to have a chance at anything real. Nathan had taken that risk. Now he'd wait to see if 4 years of distance could be overcome, or if he'd recognized his feelings too late, if jealousy had wakened him only after he'd already lost any chance. The weekend would be agony, but it would also be honest. For the first time in 4 years, Nathan Pierce had stopped hiding. Whatever came next, at least it would be real. The weekend was torture. For both of them, separately, processing, confused. Nathan spent Saturday alone in his penthouse, 41 years old, successful CEO, completely undone by confession. Had he done the right thing, or destroyed everything? He replayed the conversation endlessly. Claire's face, her words, her hurt. 4 years, Nathan. You've kept me at arm's length for 4 years. She was right. He had, deliberately, self-protectively. And now, because of jealousy over Marcus, he was suddenly confessing feelings. It looked suspicious. Looked like he only wanted her because someone else might. Maybe that was partially true. Maybe he wouldn't have recognized his feelings without that catalyst. But the feelings were real, had been real for years. He called James. Needed perspective. I told Claire I'm in love with her. About time, how'd she take it? Badly, maybe, she needs time to think. James, what if I've ruined everything? What if she sees this as inappropriate? What if she leaves? Then you handle it professionally and move on. But Nathan, you did the right thing. 4 years of hiding wasn't sustainable. At least now you're honest. What if she doesn't feel the same? Then you know, and you can actually move on. Stop living in this limbo. But honestly, I'd be surprised if she doesn't feel something, the way you two interact, the awareness, the chemistry you both pretend doesn't exist. It's mutual, I'd bet on it. You're just guessing. I'm observing. 4 years of watching you two dance around each other. Trust me, there's something there. Whether she admits it is another question. Nathan wanted to believe James. Couldn't quite let himself hope. Sunday was worse. No distraction. Just waiting, wondering. What was Claire thinking, feeling, deciding? Meanwhile, Claire's weekend was equally turbulent. Saturday morning, she called her best friend Rachel, needed to talk. Nathan confessed he's in love with me. My boss, the CEO. 4 years of professional distance, and suddenly he's in love with me. Rachel had heard about Nathan for years, knew the situation. How do you feel about it? I don't know, confused, angry maybe? He kept me at arm's length for 4 years. I matched his energy. Convinced myself he saw me as just an assistant. And now, because some new guy makes me laugh, Nathan's suddenly interested. Is it suddenly, or is it finally? There's a difference. What do you mean? Claire, you've talked about Nathan for 4 years, how brilliant he is, how you two work together seamlessly, how you wish he'd see you as more than just staff. You've been into him this whole time, don't pretend otherwise. Claire was quiet. Rachel was right. She had been into Nathan, from the beginning, buried it because he seemed uninterested, because professional boundaries, because seemed hopeless. But she'd felt it, the chemistry, the awareness, the way they moved around each other, anticipated each other, connected, without words. She'd told herself it was one-sided, that Nathan was just being professional, that she was imagining things. But what if she wasn't? What if he'd been feeling it too? Hiding it too? Okay, yes, I have feelings for Nathan, but Rachel, he's my boss. 13 years older. There's a power dynamic. If this goes wrong, I lose my job, my career, everything. True. But if it goes right, you gain something real. Claire, you're 28. How long are you going to hide behind professional boundaries? Nathan took the risk, confessed, put himself out there. Now you have to decide, is the risk worth it? I'm scared. Of course you are. Love is scary, but regret is worse. Do you want to spend the rest of your life wondering what if? Sunday afternoon, Claire went for a long walk, thinking, processing, deciding. The truth, she had feelings for Nathan. strong feelings, had for years. But she'd hidden them: professional distance, appropriate boundaries, self-protection. Same reasons Nathan had hidden his feelings. They'd both been scared, both been guarding themselves. Until Marcus made her laugh. And Nathan's jealousy broke through his walls. Was that bad? That it took external catalyst? Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes people need disruption to change, need threat of loss to acknowledge what they have. The question, were Nathan's feelings real, or just possessiveness, fear of losing efficient assistant? Claire thought back over 4 years. The way Nathan looked at her sometimes, quickly, when he thought she wasn't paying attention, the way he'd given her that raise and promotion when she'd considered leaving, the way he asked her opinion on things beyond her job scope, valued her input, small things, easy to dismiss as professional, but added together, pattern of someone who cared, who saw her, who was attracted but suppressing it, just like she'd been doing. They'd both been hiding, both been scared, both been professional, and both been lonely. She could see it. Now, Nathan's carefully constructed life, all work, no personal connection, no vulnerability, same as her. She'd dated occasionally, nothing serious, nothing real, because she compared everyone to Nathan, to connection they had professionally, to chemistry she felt, chemistry she'd convinced herself was one-sided. But what if it wasn't? What if they'd both been feeling it, both been hiding? What if the only thing preventing something real was fear? By Sunday evening, Claire had made a decision. She would give this a chance, would take the risk, would let the walls down. Not because Marcus made Nathan jealous, because 4 years of professional perfection had been hollow, missing something essential, because she wanted more than professional partnership with Nathan Pierce, wanted real connection, wanted to see if the chemistry they both felt could become something more. It was risky, could end badly, could cost her professionally. But Rachel was right. Regret was worse than risk. Claire wanted to try, wanted to be honest, wanted to stop hiding. Monday morning would change everything, for both of them. 4 years of careful distance about to end. 4 years of suppressed feelings about to surface. 4 years of professional perfection about to become something messy and real and human. Scary, risky, necessary. Sometimes the walls that protect you become the barriers that prevent you from everything you actually want. Nathan and Claire had both learned that lesson. Now they'd see if they could dismantle those walls together, or if 4 years of distance had created gaps too wide to cross. Monday morning, 8 a.m. Nathan arrived at the office early. Nervous didn't begin to describe it. Would Claire even show up? Or would she send resignation via email, request transfer, establish new professional distance? He didn't know. Spent the weekend spiraling. Now faced actual answer. At 8:27, Claire walked in. Professional attire, composed expression. Walked straight to Nathan's office. Closed the door. Nathan's heart was racing. This was it, the answer. The decision that would define everything. Claire spoke first. I spent the weekend thinking about what you said about the last 4 years, about us. And you were right about the walls. We both built them. Both hid behind professionalism. Both suppressed what we were feeling because it seemed risky, complicated, inappropriate. Nathan waited, couldn't breathe. But Nathan, those walls didn't protect us, they isolated us, prevented something that could have been real. I don't want to live that way anymore. Don't want to hide behind professional distance when there could be genuine connection. What are you saying? I'm saying I have feelings for you too. Have for years. Buried them because you seemed uninterested, because professional boundaries, because scared. But I'm tired of being scared. Tired of hiding, so yes, I want to try, want to see if what we feel can become something real. Relief flooded through Nathan, physical relief. She felt the same. She wanted to try. You do? I do. But Nathan, we need to be smart about this. There are genuine complications. Power dynamics, professional ethics, company policy. We can't just jump into this without addressing those things. She was right, completely right. What do you suggest? First, we tell HR, full disclosure, make sure there's no policy violation. If there is, I transfer to different role. Equal standing, no power dynamic issue. You'd transfer, to be with you, to try something real, yes. Nathan, I'm good at my job. I'd be fine elsewhere in the company. What matters is handling this ethically, protecting both of us, making sure no one can claim impropriety. Nathan nodded. Okay, we tell HR today, full disclosure. If you need to transfer, we make it happen. What else? We go slow, don't rush. 4 years of professional distance doesn't become relationship overnight. We date, actually date, get to know each other personally, not just professionally. Build foundation outside work, see if the chemistry translates. That's wise. What else? We keep it private initially, not because we're ashamed, because it's new, fragile. Office relationships get scrutinized, gossiped about. We give ourselves time to figure out what this is before making it public. Agreed. Anything else? Claire stepped closer. First time she'd been this close without professional buffer. Yes, one more thing. We stop hiding, stop suppressing. Stop pretending we don't feel what we feel. If this is going to work, we have to be honest, vulnerable, real with each other. No more walls. Deal. Deal. Claire, I'm scared. This could go wrong, could hurt, could end badly. I know, I'm scared too. But I'm more scared of never trying, of spending rest of my life, wondering what if. We owe it to ourselves to try. You're right, when did you get so wise? 4 years of working with you, I learned from the best. They smiled at each other, first genuine, unguarded smiles in 4 years. Can I take you to dinner, tonight? Actual date? Yes, but not tonight. Tonight I have plans. Wednesday? Wednesday, 7 p.m. I'll pick you up. I'll text you my address. Deal. Claire left his office, returned to her desk, professional mode, but different, lighter. Something had shifted. Nathan sat at his desk. 41 years old, just started dating his assistant. Should feel complicated. Instead felt right. Finally right. At 10 a.m. they met with HR together. Jennifer Walsh, Director of Human Resources. Nathan explained, Jennifer, we need to disclose a personal relationship. Claire and I have developed feelings for each other. We want to pursue a relationship. We need to know company policy and handle this appropriately. Jennifer wasn't surprised at all. Honestly, I've been expecting this conversation for 3 years. Everyone can see the chemistry, but I appreciate you handling it properly. Let me check policy. She pulled up the handbook, read through relevant sections. Okay, company policy prohibits romantic relationships between direct supervisor and subordinate, for obvious reasons. Power dynamics, potential for coercion, favoritism, etc. Since Nathan is Claire's direct supervisor, the relationship as currently structured would violate policy. Nathan's heart sank. Claire's expression was determined. What are our options? Claire asked. Claire would need to transfer to a role where Nathan isn't her direct supervisor. We have several director-level positions that would fit her qualifications. Actually, we've been trying to fill Director of Client Relations for 2 months. Claire, you'd be perfect for that. Same level, same pay, different department. You'd report to James Sterling instead of Nathan. Completely separate chain of command. Claire considered. Can I see the job description? Jennifer pulled it up. Claire reviewed. Strategic role. Client-facing. Challenging. Actually more aligned with her MBA than administrative work. This works. When could I transfer? 2 weeks transition. Train your replacement, hand off Nathan's schedule and systems. Then start the new role. Claire looked at Nathan. Does this work for you? Only if it works for you. Claire, I don't want you to leave a role you love because of me. I'm not. I'm choosing a role I love more and a relationship I want. It's not sacrifice, it's growth. Then yes, it works for me, Jennifer smiled. Good. I'll process the transfer. Nathan, you'll need a new EA. We'll start recruiting immediately. Any other questions? What about office dating policy generally? Nathan asked. Relationships between colleagues at same level are allowed but must be disclosed. We just need transparency. Once Claire transfers, you two will be peers in different departments. Completely acceptable. Just keep things professional at work. No PDA in the office. Keep personal and professional separate. That's all we ask. Understood. Thank you, Jennifer. They left HR. Claire had a new role. Nathan needed new assistant. Everything was changing. For the better, finally. Over the next 2 weeks, Claire trained her replacement, Sarah Martinez, 32, experienced, competent. Claire handed off systems with her characteristic thoroughness. Nathan and Claire maintained professionalism at work. But the energy was different, lighter, hopeful. They had their first date Wednesday night. Dinner at quiet Italian restaurant. No work talk, just personal conversation. Nathan learned. Claire grew up in Portland. Middle child of 3. Father was a teacher, mother a nurse. She'd wanted to be a teacher too until discovering business. Loved hiking. Terrible at cooking. Read voraciously. Wanted to travel more but never made time. Claire learned. Nathan grew up in Boston. Only child. Parents divorced when he was 12. Father was distant. Mother was loving but overwhelmed. He'd built the company partially to prove something to his dad. Loved jazz music. Actually was good at cooking but rarely did it. ran marathons, had always wanted kids but thought that ship had sailed after his divorce. They talked for 4 hours. Closed down the restaurant, couldn't stop talking. The chemistry they'd felt professionally translated personally, completely, intensely. Nathan walked Claire to her door. "Can I see you again? Friday?" "Yes, but Nathan, can I ask you something?" "Anything." The jealousy about Marcus. Was that the only reason you said something, or would you have eventually told me anyway? Honest question. Deserved honest answer. Jealousy was the catalyst, forced me to acknowledge what I'd been denying. But Claire, I've loved you for years. I was scared, the age gap, the power dynamic. My divorce taught me that mixing professional and personal ends badly, so I buried it. Convinced myself boundaries were wisdom. Marcus making you laugh just made me realize I was running out of time. Someone else would see what I was ignoring. I'd lose you to my own cowardice, so I took the risk. But the feelings, they've been there all along. And Marcus? Just a friend, nice guy. But that laugh you gave him? Nathan, I gave it to him because it was safe. He's safe, junior analyst, no power dynamic, no complications, no risk. I could be myself with him because there was nothing at stake. And with me? With you, everything's at stake. Everything. That's terrifying, but also, right. You're not safe, Nathan. You're complicated and risky and could break my heart. But you're also real. What I feel for you is real. Marcus was safe. You're real. I choose real. Nathan kissed her. First kiss. 4 years in the making. Gentle, perfect, full of promise. When they broke apart, both were smiling. Friday, 7 p.m., your place. I'll cook. Show you I'm not completely useless domestically. I'd like that. Nathan left, drove home, 41 years old, first real relationship in 6 years. First genuine connection in longer than that. Terrifying, risky, completely right. Week 2, Claire officially transferred. Director of Client Relations, new role, new challenges, no longer Nathan's assistant. Peers, different departments. No policy violations, free to date openly. They kept it quiet initially. Private. Building foundation without office scrutiny. But people noticed. Of course they noticed. The way Nathan and Claire looked at each other. The energy. The chemistry that had been suppressed for 4 years now carefully allowed. James Sterling approached Nathan. You told her, and she said, yes, I'm happy for you both. Thanks, James. Was I an idiot wasting 4 years? Yes, but you learned. Better late than never. Don't waste more time. Be happy. You deserve it. So does Claire. Marcus Chen approached Claire, week 3 of her new role. Hey, can I ask you something? Did I cause problems with you and Mr. Pierce? Claire was surprised. What do you mean? I don't know. I feel like... After we started talking, things got weird. He was asking about you. You transferred. I'm just wondering if I accidentally caused drama. Claire smiled. No drama. Actually, Marcus, you helped. Nathan and I had been dancing around feelings for years. You being friendly with me made Nathan realize he needed to act. So thank you. For being kind, for making me laugh, for inadvertently pushing Nathan to be honest. Marcus laughed. So I'm like the catalyst, the inciting incident. Exactly, the best kind of supporting character. Glad I could help. For what it's worth, you two seem good together. The way he looks at you now versus before, it's different, real. I'm happy for you both. Thanks, Marcus. Month 2, Nathan and Claire went public, not announcement, just stopped hiding, started eating lunch together, leaving work together, being themselves. Office gossip happened. Of course it did. Some supportive, some skeptical, some judgmental. Nathan and Claire didn't care. They were too happy, too caught up in building something real. They dated properly. Dinners, museums, hikes, jazz clubs, cooking together, learning each other. Professionally, they were better apart. Claire thrived in her new role, client-facing, strategic. Using her MBA fully, she was brilliant at it. Nathan had a competent new assistant but missed Claire's intuition. Her anticipation, her perfection. But he gained something better, Claire's partner. Equal. Not subordinate. Someone he could share with, be vulnerable with, love openly, fair trade, more than fair. Month 4, they said I love you. Not during romantic dinner. During normal Tuesday, Claire's apartment, cooking together. Something went wrong with the pasta. They were laughing, covered in flour. Nathan looked at her, laughing, unguarded, real, and just said it. I love you. Claire stopped laughing, looked at him, serious. I love you too, have for years, finally get to say it. Finally get to mean it, openly. They kissed. Flour-covered. Ridiculous. Perfect. Month 6, they moved in together. Nathan's penthouse, big enough for both, became home. Claire brought warmth, life, humanity. The sterile bachelor space transformed. Living together revealed new dimensions. They worked well together. Complementary strengths. His organization, her creativity, his focus, her spontaneity. They fought occasionally. Normal couple fights, about dishwasher loading, about social plans, about career decisions. But they fought healthy, communicated, worked through it, grew. Year 1, Nathan proposed. Not elaborate, personal. He took Claire to the office, after hours. Empty building, to the break room, where he'd seen her laughing with Marcus. Where everything had changed. This is where I finally saw you. Really saw you. 4 years of blindness ended here, because I watched you be happy with someone else and realized I wanted you to be happy with me. This place is sacred. It's where I woke up. He pulled out a ring, simple, elegant, her style. Claire Mitchell, I wasted 4 years being scared. Too cowardly to admit I loved you, but I'm not scared anymore. I want forever. I want to wake up next to you every morning. I want to build life together. Will you marry me? Will you take this reformed coward and make him your husband? Claire was crying happy tears. Yes, of course, yes. But Nathan, you're not a coward. You were hurt, guarded, learning to trust again. That's not cowardice. That's healing. And I'm honored to be part of that healing. I love you. Yes, forever yes. Ring on. Perfect fit. Beginning of new chapter. They kissed in that break room, where jealousy had sparked recognition, where walls had started crumbling, where everything had changed. 1 year after Nathan saw Claire laughing with Marcus. 1 year after jealousy had forced honesty. 1 year of dating, growing, building, leading to this, to forever, to choosing each other, openly, completely. Sometimes the moment that changes everything is small. A laugh, a glimpse of someone being happy, a flash of jealousy that breaks through years of denial. Sometimes you need disruption to recognize what's been there all along. Sometimes jealousy isn't destructive. It's clarifying, teaching you what matters, who matters. Nathan Pierce had learned that lesson. Watching Claire Mitchell laugh with someone else had woken him from 4 years of emotional sleep, had forced him to acknowledge what he'd been denying, to take risks he'd been avoiding, to build something real instead of hiding behind professional distance. 1 year later, they were engaged, building forever, no more walls, no more hiding. Just two people who'd finally been honest, finally been brave, finally been real, all because of a laugh that changed everything. That moment in the break room, when Nathan saw Claire happy with someone else, when jealousy cracked his carefully constructed fortress, when everything changed, for the better. Finally, the first year of engagement was learning, deep learning, about each other, about relationship, about building partnership. Claire and Nathan had known each other professionally for 4 years, but personal knowing was different, deeper, more complicated. They discovered things, good and challenging. Good. They still worked together beautifully. Different departments now, but collaborative. They strategized well, challenged each other, made each other better professionally. Challenging Nathan's workaholic tendencies. He defaulted to work when stressed. Long hours, weekends at the office, pattern from years of having nothing else. Claire called him on it, month 2 of engagement. You're hiding in work, I see it. When things get emotional, you retreat to the office. That's avoidance, not dedication. Nathan tried to defend, couldn't, she was right. I don't know how to do this. Relationship, vulnerability. It's easier to work. I know, but Nathan, you can't build marriage on work. You have to be present. Emotionally present, that's harder than any deal you've closed. But it's necessary. He committed to change. Therapy helped. Individual sessions, learning to sit with discomfort instead of running to work. Good. Claire brought life into Nathan's world, friends, social events, experiences beyond business. She introduced him to her people. Her friends became their friends. Her family embraced him. Sunday dinners with her parents, holiday celebrations. Warmth Nathan had never had. Challenging, Claire's tendency to prioritize everyone else's needs over her own. Pattern from being middle child. From being caretaker. Nathan noticed. Month 4. You said yes to Rachel's favor even though you're exhausted. You're taking on extra project at work when you're already overwhelmed. Claire, you're allowed to say no, allowed to prioritize yourself. I don't want to disappoint people. You can't disappoint yourself in the process. That's not sustainable. I learned that the hard way. Don't learn it too. She worked on it, setting boundaries, saying no, choosing herself sometimes. Growth. Month 6, premarital counseling. Claire's idea. We should do this proactively, address potential issues before they become problems, build tools now. Nathan agreed. They worked with Dr. Patricia Chen, 8 sessions, communication, conflict resolution, financial alignment, family planning, everything, hard conversations, essential conversations. They learned Nathan needed verbal affirmation, words of love, regular. Claire assumed he knew. He didn't. She learned to express. Claire needed quality time, undivided attention. Nathan was often distracted. He learned to be present. Both needed to work on asking for needs instead of expecting mind reading, on direct communication instead of hints, on being vulnerable even when uncomfortable, on staying through conflict instead of avoiding. Tools, practical tools, for building lasting partnership. Month 8, they bought a house. Not Nathan's. Penthouse, new place, theirs together, suburbs, room for future, for family, for life beyond work. They designed it together. Claire's aesthetic sense, Nathan's practical input, became home. Month 10, Claire's father got sick, cancer diagnosis, aggressive treatment needed. Claire fell apart. Her dad was her hero, the thought of losing him. Nathan stepped up, completely, drove Claire to Portland every weekend, sat with her family, supported her father through treatment, held Claire when she cried. No work retreat, no avoidance. Just present, emotionally present, the way she'd asked him to be. Claire noticed, appreciated, loved him more for showing up when it mattered. Her father recovered. Long road, but recovered. Grateful to Nathan for supporting his daughter. You're good for her, you see her, support her, that's all I wanted for my girl, thank you. Month 12, 1 year engaged. They set wedding dates 6 months out, small ceremony, close friends and family, intimate, meaningful. Planning was surprisingly easy. They agreed on most things. When they didn't, they compromised. Communicated. Worked through it. No fights about wedding, just partnership. Building something together. Year engaged taught them they could do this. Build life together, navigate challenges, support each other, grow together. Not perfect. They still stumbled, still triggered each other's wounds sometimes, still had to work at it. But they worked at it. Together, committed to growth, to communication, to choosing each other even when hard. That was love. Real love. Not fairy tale, not easy, but real, sustainable, built to last. 6 months until wedding. 6 months until forever became official. They were ready. Had done the work. Built foundation. Knew each other deeply. Professional partnership had become personal partnership. 4 years of suppressed chemistry had become real relationship. Jealousy sparked recognition had become committed love. Nathan and Claire were building. Something lasting. Intentional. Real. All because Nathan had seen her laugh with someone else, had been forced to acknowledge what he'd been denying, had taken the risk he'd been avoiding. Best decision of his life. Claire agreed, choosing to trust Nathan, to give him chance after 4 years of distance, to build something real despite the risks. Best decision of hers. Together they were creating something beautiful, from professional distance, from suppressed feelings, from jealousy-sparked honesty. From that moment in the break room when everything changed. 1 year engaged, 6 months until marriage, lifetime ahead, built on foundation of honesty, growth, choice, love, the kind that lasts, the kind worth waiting for, the kind worth risking everything to build. They married on a Saturday in June, perfect weather, small ceremony, 50 people, just family and close friends, venue, a garden. Claire's choice, natural, beautiful, intimate, very them. Nathan's vow, you walked into my office for a job interview. I hired you because you were brilliant. Kept you at professional distance because I was scared. For 4 years I maintained that distance. Told myself it was appropriate, professional, wise. Really it was cowardice. Fear of risking my heart again after my divorce taught me that love ends badly. Then I saw you laughing with Marcus. Really laughing, unguarded, happy. And I realized I'd been hiding behind professionalism while someone else saw what I was refusing to acknowledge. You were remarkable, beautiful, everything I wanted, and I'd wasted 4 years keeping you at arm's length. That jealousy woke me up, forced me to be honest, to take risk I'd been avoiding, to tell you I loved you even though I thought you'd say no. You didn't say no. You said you'd been feeling the same thing, hiding the same way. We'd both been scared, both been guarding ourselves, both been lonely while working side by side. These past 2 years, dating, knowing you, building life with you, have been the best of my life. You've taught me to be present, to be vulnerable, to choose connection over safety. I promise you, I will never take you for granted again. Will never hide behind professional distance. Will never let fear prevent me from showing you how much I love you. I see you, Claire Mitchell, really see you, the way I should have from the beginning, and I will spend the rest of my life making sure you feel seen, valued, loved, chosen, every single day, for the rest of our lives. I love you. Not despite the 4 years of distance. Because of what came after. Because you gave me a chance I didn't deserve. Because you taught me that walls don't protect, they prevent. Because you're everything. Thank you for saying yes 2 years ago when I confessed. Today when you chose me as husband. Forever as we build this life. I love you, Claire. I choose you, always. Claire's vows, Nathan. I was 24 when we met. You were 37, you were CEO, I was assistant. The power dynamic was real, the age gap was real, the professional boundaries were necessary. But somewhere in those 4 years of working together, I fell in love with you. The way your mind worked, your integrity, your quiet kindness to people when no one was watching, your dedication, even your walls, I understood them, respected them, matched them. I convinced myself you'd never see me as more than assistant, that the boundaries were permanent, that I needed to move on. Stop hoping. Then you saw me laughing with Marcus, and I saw something in your face I'd never seen before, jealousy, pain, recognition. When you told me you loved me, I was shocked, hurt maybe that it took 4 years, that it took seeing me with someone else for you to notice. But also, relieved, grateful, because I'd been feeling the same thing, hiding the same way. These 2 years have taught me so much, that you're not just brilliant professionally, you're good, kind, capable of incredible love when you let the walls down, that the age gap doesn't matter when 2 people genuinely connect, that power dynamics can be navigated ethically, that risks are worth taking for something real. I promise you, I will never let you retreat into work when things get emotional. We'll call you on your avoidance. We'll demand you stay present even when it's uncomfortable because you're worth that discomfort. We're worth it. I promise to keep setting boundaries, to prioritize us, to not sacrifice our relationship for everyone else's needs, to choose you, choose us, even when it's hard. And I promise to keep laughing, to keep being real with you, to never let us fall back into professional distance when we've built something so much deeper. Nathan Pierce, you woke up when you saw me laugh with someone else. But every day since, you've made me laugh, made me happy, made me feel chosen. That's what matters. Not the 4 years before, these 2 years. And all the years ahead. I love you. I choose you. I'm grateful for jealousy that sparked honesty, for risk that led to reality, for partnership that became love. Forever, starting now. They married, kissed, celebrated, 5 years after they'd met. 4 years of professional distance. 1 year of dating, 1 year engaged, now married, partners, forever. The reception was joyful, speeches, dancing, love, James Sterling's toast. I've known Nathan for 20 years, built this company with him. Watched him succeed professionally and struggle personally. Watched him build walls, keep everyone at distance, convince himself he was fine alone. Then Claire came along. Nathan kept her at professional distance for 4 years. We all saw it, the chemistry, the connection. Both of them refusing to acknowledge it. Then Marcus made Claire laugh. Nathan's face, those of us watching saw it. The jealousy, the recognition. The "oh no, I'm in love with her" panic, best thing that could have happened. Woke him up, forced him. To be honest. To take risks. Claire, thank you for giving him a chance. For seeing past 4 years of professional distance to the man underneath. For teaching him to be vulnerable. For choosing him. Nathan, don't be an idiot again. You have something real, someone remarkable. Don't hide behind work. Don't retreat into walls. Stay present, stay vulnerable, stay grateful. To Nathan and Claire, may you keep laughing together. May jealousy never return, except maybe the healthy kind that reminds you to appreciate what you have. May you build life as good as the partnership you've already created. Cheers. Everyone cheered. Rachel, Claire's best friend, also spoke. Claire called me 5 years ago. Said her new boss was brilliant and terrifying and she might be a little attracted to him. I said, be careful. Professional boundaries, power dynamics. Protect yourself. She said she would. She did. For 4 years. Called me annually to say nothing had changed. Nathan was still professionally perfect and personally distant. She was still hiding feelings. It was fine. She was fine. Then 2 years ago, Nathan confessed he loves me. What do? Finally. I'd been waiting for that call for years. I told her, take the risk. Choose real over safe, see what happens. She did. Look where it led. Nathan, I was skeptical of you. 4 years of keeping my best friend at arm's length, making her wait. Then suddenly confessing because of jealousy. Seemed suspicious. But these 2 years, watching you love her, support her, show up for her. You've proven yourself. You're good for her. You see her. You choose her. That's all I wanted. Claire, you took the risk. You chose real over safe. You demanded vulnerability. You built something beautiful from complicated circumstances. I'm proud of you. To both of you, may you keep choosing each other. Every day, even when hard, especially when hard. That's marriage, daily choice. You're good at it. Keep going. Cheers. The night continued. Dancing, joy, celebration. At midnight, Nathan and Claire snuck away. Quiet moment, garden, stars. We did it, Claire said. We did. Married. Forever started. No regrets about the 4 years? Some. I wish I'd been braver earlier, saved us both time. But Claire, those 4 years taught us both something. Taught me that walls don't protect. Taught you that you deserve to be chosen. Taught both of us to value what we built. So no real regrets. Just gratitude for what came after. Me too, I'm glad Marcus made me laugh. Nathan laughed. I'm glad too. Most important catalyst of my life. Remind me to thank him. You already did last month. Gave him a promotion, called it recognizing exceptional performance. We both know it was really thank you for inadvertently saving your love life. He earned the promotion, the thank you was just bonus. They stood together, married couple, partnership built from professional distance, from suppressed feelings, from jealousy sparked honesty, 2 years of dating and engagement, built on foundation of communication, growth, choice, now married, forever beginning, life ahead. All because Nathan saw Claire laugh with someone else, all because jealousy cracked through his walls, all because both of them chose honesty over safety. Sometimes the catalyst is uncomfortable, jealousy, disruption, threat of loss, but sometimes those catalysts lead to exactly what you need, force you to acknowledge what you've been denying, push you toward truth you've been avoiding. Nathan and Claire were grateful for that catalyst, for that moment in the break room, for jealousy that became clarity, for everything that came after. Their wedding night ended, honeymoon began. Life as married couples started, built on honesty, growth, choice, love, the kind that lasts, the kind worth waiting for, the kind worth every risk. Forever. The first year of marriage was adjustment, beautiful, challenging, real. Nathan and Claire had lived together for a year before marriage. Thought they knew what to expect. Marriage was just legal formalization, right? Wrong. Marriage was different. Deeper commitment, different psychological weight, different expectations from themselves and each other. Month 1, honeymoon glow. Everything perfect, newly married, madly in love. Couldn't be happier. Month 2, reality, work stresses, life stresses. First married fight, about something stupid. Dishwasher loading, Claire's way versus Nathan's way. Escalated ridiculously. Ended with both of them laughing at the absurdity, but also realizing they'd have to navigate small annoyances, daily frustrations. Real life. Month 3, Claire's job got demanding. New major client, long hours, stress, coming home exhausted. Nathan tried to help, took over cooking, cleaning, managing household, but also felt neglected. They weren't spending quality time. Claire noticed his withdrawal, called him on it. You're retreating into work again. When things get hard emotionally, you hide. Nathan, we talked about this. You have to stay present. I am present. I'm here. I'm helping. You're here physically, not emotionally. I can tell. Talk to me. What's wrong? Hard conversation. Vulnerable conversation. Nathan admitted, I miss you. I know you're busy. I know the client is important. But I miss quality time. Just us. I feel like we're roommates, managing household, not partners connecting. You're right. I've been so focused on work I've neglected us. I'm sorry. Let's fix this. Date night every Friday, non-negotiable. No work, just us. They instituted Friday date nights. Sacred time. No matter how busy, no matter how tired. They showed up for each other. Helped. Made huge difference. Month 5. Nathan's turn to be overwhelmed. Company expanding. Major acquisition consuming him. Long hours. Weekends at office. Old patterns trying to resurface. Work as escape. As primary focus, as entire identity. Claire pushed back. Hard. Nathan, you're disappearing into work. I understand it's important. But you're married now. You can't just default to work when things get intense. You have to balance, have to prioritize us, our marriage, me. Nathan got defensive. I'm building something. This acquisition could double our revenue, it's important. So am I, so is our marriage. Nathan, I didn't marry you to be work widow. I married you because you promised to be present, to prioritize us. You're breaking that promise. Hard words, true words. Nathan took them to therapy. Individual session with Dr. Chen. Claire's right, I'm reverting, using work to avoid emotional vulnerability. Old pattern. I thought I'd broken it. Patterns don't break. They reemerge under stress. Nathan, you're under tremendous stress, defaulting to coping mechanism that worked for years. But it doesn't work in marriage. Marriage requires presence, even when uncomfortable, especially when uncomfortable. How do I balance? The company needs me. Claire needs me. I can't be everywhere. You can't, but you can be intentional. You can set boundaries, work hours, then home, fully home, not physically present while mentally at office, fully present. Can you do that? Nathan committed to trying. Set hard stop times. 7 p.m., home. Weekends, no work unless true emergency. When home, present. Phone down. Work thoughts compartmentalized. Hard, really hard, but necessary. Claire noticed, appreciated. Their connection strengthened. Month 7, they bought a dog, golden retriever, named Charlie. Claire's idea. We need life outside work, something to care for, something that forces us to be present, to play, to not take everything so seriously. Charlie transformed things. Daily walks, park visits, playing, laughing, presence. Nathan fell in love with Charlie. Came home excited to see the dog, to walk him, to play. Claire loved watching Nathan be playful. Seeing him relaxed. Not CEO, just man playing with his dog. Layers, new layers of each other. Month 9. They started trying for a baby. Both wanted kids. Now seemed right time. Stable, established, ready. Didn't happen immediately. Month after month. Nothing. Started to worry. Fertility testing. Both fine, just timing. Patience needed. But the trying created pressure. Stress. Sex became scheduled, purposeful. Lost spontaneity. Claire felt it, addressed it. This feels clinical. Like we're trying to manufacture baby instead of making love. Can we take a break? Just be together? Let it happen naturally if it's going to happen. Nathan agreed. Pressure released. They reconnected. Intimacy returned. Month 11, Claire got pregnant. Joyful, terrifying, exciting, everything. Nathan was nervous. I don't know how to be a father. My dad was absent. I have no model. You'll figure it out. You learn to be husband. You'll learn to be father. Together. We'll figure it out together. Month 12, first anniversary. 1 year married, baby on the way, dog, house, life. They celebrated quietly, dinner at home, reflecting. This year was harder than I expected, Claire admitted. Me too. I thought marriage would be like dating but official. It's different. Deeper, more work, more vulnerability. But worth it? Completely. Claire, this year taught me I can't coast, can't rely on love being enough, have to actively maintain. Choose you daily. Prioritize us. Work at it. Me too. I learned I can't lose myself in work or other people. Have to stay connected to you, to us. Make time, make effort. We're good at this. The work, the choosing, the growing. We are. Nathan, I'm glad we waited. 4 years of professional distance taught us both things. Taught me my worth. Taught you vulnerability. When we finally got together, we were ready, mature enough, self-aware enough, to build something real. I'm glad too, though I still regret the wasted time. Not wasted. Preparation. We needed those 4 years to become people capable of this marriage. Sometimes the long road is necessary. They toasted. 1 year down, lifetime ahead. First year of marriage taught them, love isn't enough, requires work, daily choice, intentional effort, communication, vulnerability, presence. But they were good at those things, committed to those things, building foundation that would last, because they'd learned the hard way, through 4 years of distance, through jealousy-sparked recognition, through choosing honesty over safety, that real love requires action. Nathan and Claire were taking action, daily, choosing each other, building life, growing together. 1 year of marriage, more challenging than expected, more rewarding than imagined. Real, sustainable, worth every bit of effort, and baby on the way. New chapter beginning, new challenges, new joys. They were ready, together, partners, choosing each other every day, forever. Claire gave birth to their daughter 7 months after their first anniversary, Emma Rose Pierce, named after Claire's grandmother. Born at 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. 7 pounds, 4 ounces. Perfect. Terrifying. Everything. Nathan held his daughter for the first time and cried. 43 years old, first-time father, overwhelmed. I don't know what to do, how to do this. None of us do, Claire said. We figure it out, together, one day at a time. First few months were brutal, sleep deprivation, constant feeding, exhaustion, arguments about everything. Nathan and Claire struggled, both trying, both exhausted, both overwhelmed. Month 2, breaking point. 3 a.m. Emma crying, both parents exhausted, snapping at each other. You said you'd handle this feeding. I handled the last one. I'm exhausted too, Claire. I'm trying. Trying isn't enough. I need actual help, not well-intentioned effort, real help. They fought, tired, overwhelmed, scared. Next morning, calm conversation. We can't keep doing this, Claire said, snapping at each other, keeping score. We're a team. We have to act like it. You're right. I'm sorry. I've been reverting, treating this like work problem to solve. But it's not. It's partnership, life, us. They made changes. Night shift rotation, clearer communication, asking for help instead of expecting mind reading, support instead of criticism. Got better, slowly, but better. Month 4, Claire returned to work. Part-time initially, wanted to be with Emma. Also needed career, identity beyond mother. Complicated, guilt about leaving Emma, guilt about wanting to work, guilt about everything. Nathan supported. You're allowed to want both, to be both, mother and professional. You're not choosing one over the other. You're integrating. I feel like I'm failing at both. You're not. You're adjusting. It takes time. Be patient with yourself. Month 6, they hired a nanny, part-time, gave Claire flexibility to work, gave both of them occasional time together. First date night in 6 months, Friday, their tradition, restarted. Felt like strangers at first, so consumed by parenting they'd forgotten how to be couple, be themselves. But conversation flowed. Connection returned. They were still Nathan and Claire. Parents now, but still themselves, still partners. I miss this, Claire said. Just us, talking, being together. Me too. Emma is everything, but we need this, us time, couple time. Can't lose ourselves in parenting. They prioritized it. Date nights, weekend mornings while Nanny watched Emma. Moments of just them, staying connected, essential, made everything else sustainable. Year 1 with Emma, they survived. More than survived. Thrived. Found rhythm. Balance. Nathan was good father. Surprised himself. Patient. Present. Playful. Nothing like his own father. Claire was good mother. Also good professional. Balanced both. Not perfectly, but sustainably. Together, they were good parents. Supporting each other. Figuring it out. Growing. Emma changed them. Made them more patient, more present, more grateful. More aware of what mattered. Marriage deepened. Tested. By parenting stress. Strengthened by facing it together. 2 years of marriage, 1 year of parenting. 5 years since Nathan saw Claire laugh with Marcus. 6 years since Claire started as his assistant. So much had changed. Professional distance to personal partnership. Suppressed feelings to expressed love. Individuals to family. All because Nathan had seen Claire laugh with someone else. All because jealousy had cracked his walls. All because both had chosen honesty. Emma's first birthday, small celebration, family, close friends, cake, chaos, joy. Nathan watched Claire with Emma, patient, loving, natural, beautiful. James approached. You look happy. I am, happier than I've ever been. James, 6 years ago I was successful, respected, lonely, building walls to protect myself. Claire broke through those. Walls changed everything. Because you saw her laugh with Marcus, that moment changed your life. It did, forced me to acknowledge what I'd been denying, to take risks, to build something real. Best catalyst that ever happened to me. Do you ever see Marcus? He's still with the company, doing well. Senior analyst now. We had coffee last month. I thanked him. For what? For making Claire laugh, for inadvertently saving my life. He thought I was joking. I wasn't. James laughed. That's poetic. The man who made your wife laugh became the catalyst for your happiness. Exactly. I owe him everything. Not because he did anything intentional. Just because he was himself, friendly, open. Made Claire laugh. Showed me what I was missing. What I'd been keeping at distance. You've come far. From emotionally guarded CEO to present husband and father. I'm proud of you. Thanks. Couldn't have done it without Claire. She demanded I show up, stay present, be vulnerable. She didn't let me hide. Didn't let me retreat into work. Made me be real. That's partnership. Keep doing that. Don't get complacent. Don't take her for granted. Keep choosing her. Always. I spent 4 years taking her presence for granted. Never again. I choose her. Daily. Actively. Forever. The party continued. Emma playing. Claire laughing. Family celebrating. Nathan watched. Grateful. Content. Happy. 6 years since everything changed. 6 years since jealousy sparked recognition. 6 years of growth and building and choosing. Had it been easy? No. Marriage was work. Parenting was harder. Balancing everything was constant challenge. But it was worth it. Every bit of effort, every vulnerable conversation, every choice to stay present. This life, Claire, Emma, partnership, family, was worth everything, and it almost hadn't happened. If Nathan hadn't seen Claire laugh with Marcus, if jealousy hadn't broken through his walls, if he'd stayed safely distant for another 4 years, he would have lost her, to time, to someone braver, to his own cowardice. But he didn't lose her. He woke up, took the risk, built something real. And 6 years later, standing in his living room watching his wife and daughter, Nathan Pierce knew that moment in the break room, seeing Claire laugh with someone else, had been the most important moment of his life. Not comfortable, not pleasant, but transformative. Because sometimes what looks like threat is actually gift. Sometimes jealousy is teacher. Sometimes disruption is exactly what you need. Nathan had learned that lesson, lived it, built life from it, and he'd spend the rest of his days grateful for that uncomfortable catalyst, for jealousy that sparked honesty, for walls that came down, for courage that built everything. 6 years later, lifetime ahead, forever built from single moment of recognition, when everything changed, for the better, forever. 10 years after Nathan saw Claire laugh with Marcus, they sat in their backyard. Saturday afternoon, Emma was 8. Their son, James, named after Nathan's business partner, was 4. Both children playing. Nathan and Claire watching, comfortable silence, the kind that comes from years of partnership. Claire broke the silence. Do you remember the break room, 10 years ago? Every day, how could I forget? That moment changed everything. What do you remember feeling? Jealousy, pure, irrational jealousy. I'd seen you thousands of times over 4 years. Never really saw you. Then I saw you laughing with Marcus, and suddenly I couldn't see anything else. Couldn't think about anything else, just, she's happy with him. I want her happy with me. Was it just jealousy, or something deeper? Nathan thought about it. 10 years of reflection, 10 years of therapy, 10 years of growth. It was recognition through jealousy. The jealousy was just symptom. What I actually felt was I've been lying to myself, hiding from what I feel, building walls to protect myself. And now someone else is getting past those walls while I'm stuck on the wrong side. That was the real terror. Not losing you to Marcus. Losing you to my own cowardice. I'm glad you woke up. Me too. Claire, what were you feeling during those 4 years when the first kept you at professional distance? Claire considered. Honest answer. Vulnerable answer. Hurt, confused. I knew you felt something. I could tell the way you looked at me sometimes. The way you gave me that promotion when I considered leaving. The way you valued my input. Small things. But I couldn't understand why you'd keep me at distance if you felt something. So I convinced myself I was imagining it. That you saw me as just an assistant. That I needed to move on. Did you? Try to move on? Yes, that's partially why I was friendly with Marcus. He was safe. No power dynamic, no complications, just friendly. I wasn't attracted to him. But I liked being seen as a person, not just a function. Nathan, you were so professionally perfect it made me feel like a role, not a human. That hurt. Nathan felt the weight of that. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I know, you were protecting yourself. Your walls kept me out, but they also kept you isolated. We were both lonely, both right there, both feeling something, both too scared to acknowledge it. Kind of tragic. But then I saw you laugh, and everything changed. For both of us. When you confessed, I was shocked, but also relieved, validated. I wasn't imagining it. You did feel something, you were just hiding it, like I was hiding mine. Do you ever regret those 4 years? Wasted time? Not wasted, necessary. Nathan, at 24, I wasn't ready for you, wasn't mature enough, secure enough. Those 4 years let me grow. Become the person who could be your partner, not just attracted to your power or success, actually compatible with who you are. And I wasn't ready either. Too guarded, too damaged from divorce, too scared. I needed those 4 years to heal, to become someone capable of real relationship. Someone who could be vulnerable, present, real. So the 4 years weren't wasted. They were preparation. And the jealousy was catalyst. Exactly, uncomfortable catalyst, but necessary. You needed disruption, something to break through, the walls. Marcus's friendship with me did that, not because there was anything between us, because it showed you what you were missing, what being guarded was costing you. Best teaching moment of my life, painful, humbling, transformative. They sat quietly. 10 years of perspective, 10 years of growth, 10 years of building. Emma ran over. "Dad, can we go to the park?" "Of course, sweetheart. Want to come?" Nathan asked Claire. "Always." They gathered the children, walked to nearby park, family together, present. 10 years ago, Nathan was emotionally isolated CEO, building walls, keeping everyone distant, lonely. Now he was husband, father, partner, present, vulnerable, real. Because he'd seen Claire laugh with someone else. Because jealousy had broken through denial. Because he'd taken the risk. At the park, watching his children play, his wife beside him, Nathan thought, every hard thing that led here was worth it. Divorce, walls, 4 years of distance, jealousy, vulnerability, risk. All of it worth it for this moment, this life, this family. Claire seemed to read his thoughts. "You're thinking about how we got here. Always, how close I came to missing this. If Marcus had been less friendly, if you'd been less warm, if I'd been more deeply in denial, I could have missed everything, this whole life, you, Emma, James, everything. But you didn't miss it. You woke up, chose risk over safety, vulnerability over walls. That's what matters, not what almost happened, what did happen. I'm grateful every day, for uncomfortable moments that forced growth, for jealousy that taught me what mattered, for your patience with my learning curve, for this." He gestured. "Park, children, Saturday afternoon, normal moment, everything." "Me too," Claire said. "Grateful for 4 years of growth, for moment you saw me with Marcus, for courage to admit feelings, for building this together." They sat on park bench, children playing, comfortable silence again. 10 years, married 8, together 10 counting dating, known each other 14 counting assistant years. Long road, complicated road, necessary road. Every step leading here. To this moment, this life, this family. Built from jealousy, from recognition, from courage, from choice. The kind of love that lasts because it's intentional, chosen, worked for, maintained. Nathan and Claire knew that, lived it, taught it to their children, by example, by presence, by choosing each other, daily. 10 years later. Still choosing. Still building. Still grateful. For uncomfortable moment that changed everything. For catalyst that sparked transformation. For journey that led home. Together. 12 years after Nathan saw Claire laugh with Marcus, the company hosted its 20th anniversary celebration. Major milestone, everyone invited, current employees, alumni, partners, including Marcus Chen, now 38. Married, 2 kids. Senior partner at different firm. But still friendly with Pierce and Sterling. Still part of the extended network. Marcus approached Nathan and Claire at the reception. "Congratulations on 20 years, that's impressive." "Thanks, Marcus," Nathan said. "How are you? How's the family?" "Good, really good. Wife's an architect. Kids are 5 and 7, exhausting, amazing, you know how it is." "We do," Claire smiled. "Nathan and I have 2, 8 and 6, constant chaos." They chatted, caught up, professional, friendly. Then Marcus said something that had clearly been on his mind. "Can I tell you something? It's slightly awkward, but I've always wondered." "Of course," Claire said. "Years ago, must be 12 now, I was new here, junior analyst. Barely knew anyone. You were kind to me, Claire, friendly, made me feel welcome. We'd talk, laugh, just friendly, nothing more." "I remember," Claire said gently. "Then suddenly things shifted. You transferred departments, started dating Mr. Pierce, got married. I always wondered, did I accidentally cause problems? Was your friendship with me the reason for the transfer?" Silence. Moment of decision. How much to share? Claire answered honestly. "Yes, kind of. Marcus, can I tell you a story?" "Please." "Nathan and I worked together for 4 years before we started dating. I was his assistant. There was chemistry, connection, but also power dynamics, age gap, professional boundaries. We both felt something, but neither of us acknowledged it. For 4 years. Marcus was listening intently. "Then you started. You were friendly, open, made me laugh, treated me like person, not just Nathan's assistant. It was nice, refreshing, uncomplicated." "I see." "Nathan saw us talking one day, saw me laughing with you, really laughing, unguarded, and something shifted in him. He realized he'd been keeping me at professional distance for 4 years, that he had feelings he was denying, that if he didn't act, he'd lose me to someone. Braver. Someone like you." Marcus's eyes widened. I was the catalyst? Nathan joined the conversation. Completely. Marcus, seeing Claire laugh with you broke through 4 years of denial. Forced me to acknowledge what I'd been hiding. Made me realize I loved her. That I was running out of time to do something about it. You inadvertently saved my life. I had no idea. Of course not. You were just being yourself, friendly, kind, making a colleague feel seen. But that simple act, making Claire laugh, changed everything. Forced me to choose, stay safely guarded and lose her, or take the risk and maybe build something real. I chose the risk. Best decision of my life. Marcus was processing. So your entire relationship, your marriage, your family, exists because I made Claire laugh 12 years ago? Essentially, yes, Claire smiled. You were the disruption Nathan needed, the external catalyst that broke through his walls. We're grateful, truly grateful. I don't know what to say, I was just being friendly. That's what makes it perfect, Nathan said. You weren't trying to cause anything, just being human, being yourself, but your humanity, your openness, your ability to connect. It showed me what I was missing, what I'd been denying myself. For that, Marcus, I owe you everything. Marcus looked overwhelmed, emotional. Can I tell you something? That time here, brief as it was, it taught me something too. About being open, being human at work, not hiding behind professional masks. I took that with me. Built my career on it. Built my firm's culture on it. So maybe we helped each other. I like that, Claire said. Mutual growth. You showed us what openness looks like. We eventually learned from it. Everyone wins. They talked more about life, career, family, growth, connections from 12 years ago now deepened by perspective. As Marcus left, he turned back. Thank you for telling me. I always wondered. Now I know. I'm honored to have played that role, even accidentally. After he left, Nathan and Claire stood together, watching the party, thinking. That was 12 years ago, Claire said. 12 years since you saw me laughing with him. 12 years since everything changed. Feels like longer. Feels like different lifetime. Who I was then versus who I am now. Good different? Impossibly better different. Claire, 12 years ago I was successful and empty. Building walls to protect myself. Convinced I was fine alone. Now I'm married. Father. Partner. Full. Happy. Real. All because I saw you laugh and realized what I was missing. And I was hiding. Waiting for someone to see me. Convincing myself professional perfection was enough. Now I'm seen. Chosen. Building life that's both professional success and personal fulfillment. Because you finally looked up. We both grew, both changed, both became people capable of this partnership. And Marcus was the catalyst, the unexpected teacher. Best kind of teacher, the unintentional kind. They watched the party, celebration of 20 years of company success, but also for them, celebration of 12 years of personal growth. 8 years of marriage, 2 children. Life built from uncomfortable moment. James Sterling approached. You two look contemplative. Just talk to Marcus, Nathan explained. Told him the whole story, about the break room, the jealousy, the catalyst. How'd he take it? Well, he's honored, also slightly overwhelmed, but good. That's a good story. Origin story, how you two actually got together after 4 years of dancing around it. Should write it down, tell your kids someday. Maybe we will, Claire said. When they're old enough to understand, about walls, about fear, about uncomfortable catalysts that force growth, about choosing vulnerability over safety. Important lessons. You two teach them well, through example. James moved on. Nathan and Claire remained. What should we tell Emma and James? Nathan asked. About how we got together. They'll ask eventually. The truth, that we worked together, that I was your assistant, that we both felt something but were too scared to acknowledge it. That seeing me laugh with someone else woke you up. That uncomfortable moments sometimes lead to beautiful things. That growth requires risk. That's a good story, true story. They'll learn from it. They will, just like we're still learning from it 12 years later, still learning that relationship requires choice, presence, vulnerability, can't coast, can't assume, have to keep choosing. Every day, I choose you every day, Claire. Never want to fall back into taking you for granted. And I choose you every day, even when hard, especially when hard. That's marriage, that's partnership, that's us. They stood together. 20-year company anniversary, 12-year relationship anniversary counting from the break room moment, 8-year marriage anniversary, lifetime ahead, built from jealousy, from recognition, from uncomfortable catalyst, from courage to be vulnerable, from choice to stay present, the kind of love that lasts because it's maintained, intentional, chosen, daily. Nathan and Claire had learned that lesson, the hard way, through 4 years of distance, through jealousy-sparked recognition, through years of building. Now they taught it, to their children, to colleagues, to anyone who'd listen. See people. Really see them, before disruption forces you to, before someone else sees them first, before you lose what you were too scared to claim. Take risks, choose vulnerability, be honest about what you feel. Even when uncomfortable. Especially when uncomfortable. Build something real, not perfect, real. The kind of relationship that requires work but rewards effort. The kind of love that's chosen daily. The kind of partnership that grows. 12 years since everything changed. Lifetime of lessons learned. Forever of choosing ahead. That was Nathan and Claire's story. That was their legacy. That was their gift. To each other, to their children, to anyone willing to listen. Built from break room moment, from jealousy, from recognition, from courage. Changed everything. Forever. 12 years after Nathan saw Claire laugh with Marcus, the company hosted its 20th anniversary celebration. Major milestone. Everyone invited. Current employees, alumni, partners, including Marcus Chen, now 38, married, 2 kids, senior partner at different firm, but still friendly with Pierce and Sterling, still part of the extended network. Marcus approached Nathan and Claire at the reception. Congratulations on 20 years, that's impressive. Thanks, Marcus, Nathan said. How are you? How's the family? Good, really good. Wife's an architect, kids are 5 and 7, exhausting, amazing, you know how it is. We do, Claire smiled. Nathan and I have 2, 8 and 6, constant chaos. They chatted, caught up, professional, friendly. Then Marcus said something that had clearly been on his mind. Can I tell you something? It's slightly awkward, but I've always wondered. Of course, Claire said. Years ago, must be 12 now, I was new here. Junior analyst, barely knew anyone. You were kind to me, Claire, friendly, made me feel welcome. We'd talk, laugh, just friendly, nothing more. I remember, Claire said gently. Then suddenly things shifted. You transferred departments, started dating Mr. Pierce, got married. I always wondered, did I accidentally cause problems? Was your friendship with me the reason for the transfer? Silence, moment of decision, how much to share? Claire answered honestly. Yes, kind of. Marcus, can I tell you a story? Please. Nathan and I worked together for 4 years before we started dating. I was his assistant. There was chemistry, connection, but also power dynamics, age gap, professional boundaries. We both felt something, but neither of us acknowledged it. For 4 years. Marcus was listening intently. Then you started. You were friendly, open, made me laugh, treated me like person, not just Nathan's assistant. It was nice, refreshing, uncomplicated. I see. Nathan saw us talking one day. Saw me laughing with you, really laughing, unguarded, and something shifted in him. He realized he'd been keeping me at professional distance for 4 years, that he had feelings he was denying, that if he didn't act, he'd lose me to someone braver, someone like you. Marcus's eyes widened. I was the catalyst? Nathan joined the conversation completely. Marcus, seeing Claire laugh with you, broke through 4 years of denial, forced me to acknowledge what I'd been hiding, made me realize I loved her, that I was running out of time to do something about it. You inadvertently saved my life. I had no idea. Of course not. You were just being yourself, friendly, kind, making a colleague feel seen. But that simple act, making Claire laugh, changed everything. Forced me to choose, stay safely guarded and lose her, or take the risk and maybe build something real. I chose the risk. Best decision of my life. Marcus was processing. So your entire relationship, your marriage, your family, exists because I made Claire laugh 12 years ago? Essentially, yes, Claire smiled. You were the disruption Nathan needed, the external catalyst that broke through his walls. We're grateful, truly grateful. I don't know what to say. I was just being friendly. That's what makes it perfect, Nathan said. You weren't trying to cause anything, just being human, being yourself. But your humanity, your openness, your ability to connect, it showed me what I was missing, what I'd been denying myself. For that, Marcus, I owe you everything. Marcus looked overwhelmed, emotional. Can I tell you something? That time here, brief as it was, it taught me something too about being open, being human at work, not hiding behind professional masks. I took that with me, built my career on it, built my firm's culture on it. So maybe we helped each other. I like that, Claire said. Mutual growth. You showed us what openness looks like. We eventually learned from it. Everyone wins. They talked more. About life, career, family, growth, connections from 12 years ago now deepened by perspective. As Marcus left, he turned back. Thank you for telling me. I always wondered. Now I know. I'm honored to have played that role, even accidentally. After he left, Nathan and Claire stood together, watching the party, thinking. "That was 12 years ago," Claire said. 12 years since you saw me laughing with him. 12 years since everything changed. Feels like longer. Feels like different lifetime. Who I was then versus who I am now. Good different. Impossibly better different. Claire, 12 years ago I was successful and empty. Building walls to protect myself. Convinced I was fine alone. Now I'm married, father, partner, full, happy, real. All because I saw you laugh and realized what I was missing. And I was hiding, waiting for someone to see me, convincing myself professional perfection was enough. Now I'm seen, chosen, building life that's both professional success and personal fulfillment. Because you finally looked up. We both grew, both changed, both became people capable of this partnership. And Marcus was the catalyst, the unexpected teacher. Best kind of teacher, the unintentional kind. They watched the party, celebration of 20 years of company success. But also for them, celebration of 12 years of personal growth. 8 years of marriage, 2 children, life built from uncomfortable moment. James Sterling approached. "You two look contemplative." "Just talk to Marcus," Nathan explained. Told him the whole story about the break room, the jealousy, the catalyst. How'd he take it? Well, he's honored, also slightly overwhelmed, but good. That's a good story, origin story, how you two actually got together after 4 years of dancing around. Should write it down. Tell your kids someday. Maybe we will, Claire said. When they're old enough to understand, about walls, about fear, about uncomfortable catalysts that force growth, about choosing vulnerability over safety. Important lessons. You two teach them well, through example. James moved on. Nathan and Claire remained. What should we tell Emma and James, Nathan asked. About how we got together. They'll ask eventually. The truth, that we worked together, that I was your assistant, that we both felt something but were too scared to acknowledge it, that seeing me laugh with someone else woke you up, that uncomfortable moments sometimes lead to beautiful things, that growth requires risk. That's a good story, true story. They'll learn from it. They will. Just like we're still learning from it, 12 years later. Still learning that relationship requires choice, presence, vulnerability. Can't coast. Can't assume. Have to keep choosing. Every day. I choose you every day, Claire. Never want to fall back into taking you for granted. And I choose you every day, even when hard, especially when hard. That's marriage, that's partnership, that's us. They stood together, 20-year company anniversary, 12-year relationship anniversary counting from the break room moment, 8-year marriage anniversary, lifetime ahead, built from jealousy, from recognition, from uncomfortable catalyst, from courage to be vulnerable, from choice to stay present, the kind of love that lasts because it's maintained. Intentional, chosen, daily. Nathan and Claire had learned that lesson, the hard way, through 4 years of distance, through jealousy-sparked recognition, through years of building. Now they taught it, to their children, to colleagues, to anyone who'd listen. See people, really see them, before disruption forces you to, before someone else sees them first, before you lose what you were too scared to claim. Take risks, choose vulnerability, be honest about what you feel, even when uncomfortable, especially when uncomfortable. Build something real, not perfect, real. The kind of relationship that requires work but rewards effort. The kind of love that's chosen daily. The kind of partnership that grows. 12 years since everything changed. Lifetime of lessons learned. Forever of choosing ahead. That was Nathan and Claire's story. That was their legacy. That was their gift. To each other, to their children, to anyone willing to listen. Built from break room moment, from jealousy, from recognition, from courage. Changed everything forever. This is the story of Nathan Pierce and Claire Mitchell, CEO who kept his assistant at professional distance for 4 years, until he saw her laughing with someone else, until jealousy broke through his carefully constructed walls, until he finally admitted what he'd been denying all along, that he loved her, wanted her, needed to take the risk he'd been avoiding. 15 years later, they're proof that uncomfortable moments can be teachers, jealousy can be catalyst, walls can come down, growth is possible. But only if you choose it, only if you take the risk, only if you prioritize honesty over comfort. Nathan spent 4 years hiding behind professional boundaries, convincing himself he was protecting everyone, really protecting himself from vulnerability, from risk, from potential pain. Claire spent 4 years matching his energy, respecting boundaries, hiding her own feelings, waiting to be noticed. Both were lonely. Both were guarded. Both were preventing exactly what they wanted. Until Marcus Chen made Claire laugh. Until Nathan saw it. Until jealousy forced recognition. That moment, simple as it was, changed everything. Not because jealousy is foundation for love. It's not. Jealousy is just alarm, wake-up call, signal that something needs attention. What built their relationship wasn't jealousy, it was choice. Communication, vulnerability, daily effort, staying present even when uncomfortable, growing together, choosing each other, continuously. 15 years later, Nathan and Claire have marriage, partnership, 2 children, careers, life, everything they were too scared to build 4 years. But they also have wisdom, earned through experience, through mistakes, through growth, wisdom they teach their children, their employees, anyone willing to listen, see people, really see them, before disruption forces you to, before someone else sees them first, before you lose what you were too scared to claim. Don't hide behind walls. Walls don't protect, they isolate. They prevent connection while claiming to provide safety. Take risks, choose vulnerability, be honest about what you feel, even when scary. Especially when scary. Uncomfortable moments can be teachers. Don't run from them, learn from them. Let them show you what matters, who matters. Relationships require work, daily work, intentional work, choice, presence, communication, growth. Can't coast, can't assume. Have to keep choosing, and timing matters. Right person, wrong time doesn't work. You can meet someone before you're ready, before they're ready. That's okay. Growth takes time, preparation takes time. Nathan and Claire needed those 4 years to grow, to heal, to become people capable of real partnership. The jealousy didn't create their love, it revealed it, forced them to acknowledge what was already there, what they'd been denying. Sometimes that's what disruption does. Forces honesty, breaks through denial, shows you what you've been ignoring. For Nathan, it was seeing Claire laugh, seeing her be herself with someone else, realizing he wanted that for himself. With her. For Claire, it was Nathan finally being honest, admitting he'd been hiding, asking for chance, showing vulnerability. Both had to choose risk over safety, honesty over comfort, growth over stagnation. And they did, together, building something from complicated circumstances, from professional distance, from suppressed feelings, from jealousy sparked recognition. Not perfect, never perfect, real, messy, human, growing. 15 years of choosing each other, even when hard, especially when hard. 15 years of staying present, of communicating, of working through challenges, of growing together. 15 years of proving that uncomfortable moments can lead to beautiful things. That walls can come down, that growth is possible. That love is action, not just feeling. They teach this to Emma and James. Through story, through example, through daily choices. Emma is learning, be honest about what you feel. Don't hide behind walls. Choose yourself first. Demand to be seen. Take risks for something real. James is learning, see people. Notice them. Be present. Stay vulnerable. Choose love even when scary. Both are learning, relationships require work. Daily work. Intentional work. That's how love lasts. Nathan and Claire model this. Daily, not perfectly, but consistently. Choosing each other, staying present, growing. At company events, people sometimes ask them, how did you two get together? They tell the story. The 4 years of professional distance. The break room moment. The jealousy. The confession. The risk. The growth. Some people are inspired. Some are challenged. All are taught that walls don't protect. That timing matters. That uncomfortable moments can be catalysts. That growth is possible. That love requires action. Marcus Chen remains part of this story. Not as rival, not as threat, as catalyst, teacher, friend. He's grateful for his role, however accidental. Nathan and Claire are grateful too, for his friendliness, his openness, his ability to make Claire laugh, for being exactly who he was at exactly the right time. Sometimes the smallest actions have the biggest impacts. A laugh, a conversation, a moment of genuine connection. Marcus gave that to Claire, inadvertently sparked everything that followed. 15 years later, Nathan and Claire still think about that moment. The break room, the laugh, the jealousy, the recognition, not painfully, gratefully. Because that moment taught them everything, about themselves, about each other, about love, about risk, about growth. Taught them that some walls need to come down, some fears need to be faced, some risks need to be taken. Taught them that love isn't just feeling, it's choice, action, daily commitment, presence, vulnerability, growth. Taught them that uncomfortable moments can be gifts. Jealousy can be teacher. Disruption can be exactly what you need. They live these lessons daily, 15 years later. Still learning, still growing, still choosing. Still grateful for break room moment, for jealousy that sparked honesty, for courage that built everything. Nathan Pierce is not the same man he was 15 years ago. Walls down, vulnerable, present, full. Claire Mitchell Pierce is not the same woman, seen, chosen, building life that's both professionally successful and personally fulfilled. Together, they're not the same partnership they were as boss and assistant. Deeper, richer, more real, built from uncomfortable moment, from disrupted routine, from jealousy sparked recognition, from courage, from choice. And they'll spend the rest of their lives grateful for it. All of it. Even the uncomfortable parts, especially the uncomfortable parts. Because those parts taught them, changed them, built them, into people capable of real love, real partnership, real life. 15 years later, lifetime ahead, forever built from single moment of recognition. When Nathan saw Claire laugh with someone else, when jealousy cracked his fortress, when everything changed. For the better, forever, the end. But also, the continuation, because real love stories don't end. They continue, in daily choices, in sustained presence, in chosen vulnerability. That's Nathan and Claire's story, 15 years in, lifetime to go, still choosing, still seeing, still growing, still loving. Through small moments, daily actions, consistent effort, the way it should be. The way it always was meant to be. If only we're brave enough to see it, to choose it, to build it, before disruption forces our hand. Before jealousy teaches what presence should have shown. Before we lose what we were too scared to claim. Look up, see the people around you, notice them, choose them, love them, while you can, before you can't. That's the lesson. That's the story. That's everything. From a CEO who saw his assistant laugh with someone else. From jealousy that sparked recognition. From courage that built forever. 15 years of proof. Lifetime of promise. Forever of choosing. That's Nathan and Claire's legacy. That's their gift. That's their truth. See people. Choose them. Love them daily. Actively. Forever. That's how love lasts. That's how life is built. That's how everything changes. For the better. When you finally look up and see what's been there all along, the end.